CD Projekt Red is a place that was a really like intense experience for you. I mean,
yes,
you know, so The Witcher 2 obviously has something very, 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 very important to you.
So interestingly, The Witcher 2 was sent to me by the PR at Bandai Namco. If you were in America, it was published by Warner Brothers, which is why sometimes when I say the PR at Bandai Namco, people get confused. But traditionally, the Witcher games were published by Atari. Atari got bought by Bandai Namco, but it was Warner in the US.
Yeah.
So they actually sent me a preview build of The Witcher 2. It was the most difficult game I ever played, and I had this like giant laptop that literally sounded like it was taking off whenever it was playing it. But just like Final Fantasy, music, characters, world, and the Witcher 2 kind of preview build was Flotsam, which gave you Triss, Eorveth, like all of the good characters were in there as well. And I just went hook, line, and sinker. I was like, oh my God, The Witcher is my everything. So when the game finally came out, I think actually my ex at the time was working at Codemasters, and a lot of video game studios have libraries where you can borrow games. And I made him bring The Witcher 2 home for me. I did eventually get my own copy. And if you've ever played The Witcher 2 vanilla, it's like Dark Souls levels of difficult, but not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like it's so difficult. Like they definitely like, there was no tutorial. I didn't even realize there's two swords because I didn't play the first one. Do you know how long it took me to figure out that like silver's for monsters and steel's for you?
Just the assumed knowledge.
Yeah, mate.
Or
those
no
dramas
onboarding.
were like ruining me, but I didn't care because I was so in love with the world.
Yeah.
That I just kept plugging, and I absolutely. In fact, I've got in my room at home, I've had it made out of metal and mounted on my wall. Is Philippa Eilhart said, "Realms die." No, is it kings die, realms fall, but magic endures. And I just have it on my wall.
Love it.
So Witcher 2 was kind of that game where I was like, I've never tried to be like, I want to work here one day. Because one of the first things sort of learning the games industry is it's never always what you seem.
Yeah.
But I was like, I tend to find myself, my personality tends to work better with either Japanese publishers, developers, where Japan is very... leaves Europe kind of alone, or European-based game developers, publishers. I tend to find that I get more freedom than if I'm maybe at a more US-centric kind of publisher or developer.
Yeah.
And then when I went to Bandai Namco, they had the Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings edition, which was the Xbox 360 version. And that's when I was like, yeah, I want to work at CD Projekt one day. I was meeting them. They were all Polish. They were so cool.
Yeah.
They had this, like, they had total control over their IP, which when you were at Bandai could be a little frustrating because you wanted to do stuff, but they'd be like, no.
Yeah.
But
like
I loved that it was theirs. Like, they, you know, I had seen other publishers other developers get upset that they couldn't do stuff because the publisher was in control.
Exactly.
But CD Projekt had full creative control. And I was like, yeah, I want to work at a developer one day. I don't want to be in publishing forever. And this is the developer I want to work for.
Yeah.
And then when I was at PlayStation, obviously on PlayStation Access, I was able to cover The Witcher 3 as a resident Witcher fan, although I think Nathan probably gets that crown from me because he's an enormous Witcher fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saw a job go up. I had a friend of mine who had just lost their job and they had messaged being like, hey, you know people at CD Projekt, can you recommend me? And I said, yeah, of course. So I recommended him, and then I read the job spec, and then I was like, I want the job.
Oh, bless you.
So I applied as well.
Yeah.
And then they reached out and were like, why would you recommend someone and apply? And I was like, truthfully, I recommended them before I read it for myself.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, they're really good. So if I don't get it, they'll get it. And then I've just put my friend inside your company, and I cover games for a living. So like, I can't win anyway. So like, I'm kind of golden. I got it. PlayStation countered because they didn't want me to leave. So I told CD Projekt, I'm really sorry, I'm going to say no. And then they called back and said, no, we
really want
you. And I was like, that's it. It's not going to come back again.
Yeah.
Fate, you were lucky. Fate decided to give you a second chance.
Exactly.
Again, that fate thing. And I just said, this is it. Going to do it. Cried when I handed my notice in.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because I was like, PlayStation Access was part of me.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
This is like that next step in my career. I'm going to be in-house at a place I've always wanted to be. And did not disappoint.
No.
I loved CD Projekt Red.
You fit it like a glove.
It was
really.
Honestly, beautiful studio, great people, super talented. I know that launch was tricky.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I loved working there.
Yeah.
It was everything I hoped it would be.
Yeah. And the work that you did was absolutely incredible. Like launching the night channel as well. Like,
Nice
like,
yeah.
it's just, oh my gosh. Like, so was a lot of that your sort of manifesting? Like what was sort of like your, no.
COVID had hit and we were trying to launch a video game when you couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So how do you get information to the masses when you're not going to E3, Gamescom, Twitch,
Exactly.
How do you get that? I had a huge background in presenting and video work. So it made sense that we were going to start this thing called, we didn't even have a name. We didn't know what to call it. And they were like, would you mind presenting it? And I was like, yeah, of course not. Like, this is what I do. Like, whatever helps the company. That's what I'm here for, right?
Exactly.
So I was like, yeah, sure, of course I'll do it. And it just became a thing. Myself and Bobby, we'd sit down, flesh out the script. Who would we have on this week? What were the questions? How was it going to look? I would film it, my bits themselves. They'd film their bits themselves. We'd then send it to an editor who would then mash it all together because obviously we weren't in the same room because I couldn't fly to Poland.
Exactly.
And then that would be the episode. The script was fully memorized. A lot of memorizing scripts at CD Projekt Red. If anyone saw that 40-minute demo that we used to do, that was memorized from heart script.
Wow.
Everyone thought the TV in front was your script. It wasn't. It was the gameplay.
Wow.
I remember being on a flight to Australia, like trying to learn that script. And it was someone who's dyslexic as well. Like my brain was having none of it. But now, like by the end of it, I could recite that entire script off audio alone. Like it was mad. But yeah, the Night City Y was incredible. But you roll with the punches, right? You want to be the face of something.
Yeah.
You can't just have the good. And let me tell you, like I was a very, very easy person to find if you were not happy. And that's fine. That, I get it. You roll with the punches in life.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best time of my life because I was still incredibly proud of what we had done. Because it was still hard work from a great many talented people.
Yeah.
It didn't manifest in the way we had hoped. But I think, that's probably all I'll say on that, I think, because it was a very talented team of people. But Night City Y was amazing. It felt a very natural thing for me to do with my existing skills.
Oh my gosh, completely. I mean, like that's such a testament to the power of saying yes in that kind of sense. Because I think like you do have that in you as well, which makes you very successful in your career is this idea of like saying, not obviously saying yes all the time.
Oh, I'm not stupid.
But saying yes in the sense of like, this is a new challenge or this is something that transfers my skills quite
Where'd you need
easily. Me? And it helps you grow in so many different ways. And it's helped you to grow in so many different ways.
Like I loved my team. CD Projekt's team on my site was incredible. So like, it was an honor to be able to do something, a creative execution like this, which would go out on behalf of all of these people. But you want to help. Like I wanted my company to be proud of me.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I'm not working myself to death. It was in the remit of what I did for a living. So I was like, absolutely, let's go.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I miss you all.
Yeah.
I can't travel. I can't see any of you. Like I used to go to Warsaw about once a month. I didn't have to. They didn't make me, but I used to go once a month to see everybody. And I used to love it. So Night City Y was a really great project, but obviously the launch was not what we were all expecting.